Okay, in the summer of 1968, I had a summer job taking news footage for TV station KOAT-TV, Channel 7. And news footage, news on weekend nights, consisted mainly of wrecks, stabbings, fires, things like that. And yes, it was traumatizing. So, and my job consisted, what I did was lay my head on the desk and sort of half sleep and half listen for the police radio, for codes, for events that were the kind of things I was supposed to take news footage of. Okay, so one night I was out west of Albuquerque in a location much like this, taking footage of a rescue attempt of a kid who had fallen down a well or a hole of some kind. So I wrapped up there and I was headed back to the TV station. I was driving down Central like this, east on Central. And by the way, what I'm going to tell you is not in the category of so-called psychic things that are really just coincidences. Like when I happened to run into an old girlfriend in Paris. Neither of us had been to Paris before, and this was not in some fancy Café Juju, famous restaurant or something. We just happened to run into each other on the street when we were both there for a few days. Nor was it like when I ran into my friend Vicky from Hawaii on the Strip in Las Vegas, where neither of us lived either and hadn't been there that often. These kind of coincidences that seem incredibly unbelievable are explained in an article that I always think everybody should read and that is available online. It was in the New York Times Magazine, I think. It's by Lisa Belkin, and it's called The Odds of That. And it's about just exactly that. It's about that a lot of things that seem incredibly coincidental are not really that coincidental if you understand all the factors going into an event like that. The odds are better than you think that things happen like that. And if everybody read that article, we would be a better country, a better world, because there wouldn't be so many conspiracy theories about everything. Anyway, I was driving back in the general direction of the station, and suddenly, and understand another thing, I was not inclined to go driving around for the hell of it on this job. I just wanted to get back to the station, put my head down, and sleep some more. That's all I was interested in. So it was around here somewhere. I just had the urge to turn right onto a street that I had never heard of. I didn't even know what street I was turning right on. I just had the urge to turn right, okay? This is about 2 in the morning, some crazy time like that. And as soon as I turned right, I heard on the police radio a call for a burglary in progress. And I, looked it up on the map, or I must have looked it up on the map and figured out that it was the street that I had just turned right on. And I am not lying to you. So let's say it was a street like this. And I pull over, and I realize the call for the burglary is like 1 block more down the street. So I didn't want to get too close. and I see that I don't see any police activity, at least not out in front. So I get out of the car, I park like this, I get out of the car. Again, this was at night. I get out of the car and I set up my camera carefully, my lights. I have plenty of time for this because I don't see any police. So I get out of the car. I'm going to go to the corner here because I don't want anybody hassling me about taking video here. It was not at the corner. It was like in the middle of a block like that, okay? So I'm literally set up with my lights and my camera, leaning against the car, waiting for something to happen. And the store, the little corner store where this is happening, is down the block, about a half a block like that. And I'm standing around, and suddenly I hear a big crash. And I look down to the, excuse me, sir, I look down to the store, and this guy comes crashing out through the plate glass door, front door of the store, little mom and pop grocery store, something kind of thing, facing like this way at the corner, and he comes running. He comes running like this down the sidewalk, right in front of me. And I turn on my lights, I turn my camera on, and I get him. This is like this, like 3 feet away. He comes running down, because I'm leaning against my car, okay? So he comes running down the street, running like hell, right in front of me, and I get a picture of him going by. And then right after him is a cop running after him. I turn on the lights, I get him, comes right after me, he's shooting. I don't remember if he was shooting in the air. I hope he was shooting in the air, but he was shooting. No shit. Right in front of me. And a few minutes later, the cop comes back and he says, I lost him. He says, I want to see that. We're going to want to see that footage because we lost the guy. Well, as I said, it was 1968. I was 20 years old, and I had this notion that, this was like I was part of the revolution or something like that. And this was the man chasing the small-time guy, and I didn't want them to look at my footage and catch this guy due to my footage. So I call up my friend Fred, this is again 2 a.m. or whatever, who had gotten me this job. And I said, Fred, I don't know what to do. I got this footage of this guy running away from the cops, and I don't want him to be identified because of my footage. I don't know whether I should open up the camera and expose the footage, the film, so they don't, can't use it. And Fred says, I'll never forget, he says, I don't care what the hell you do. And so that was that. I did open up the footage, open up the camera, expose the footage to the light. So the footage was not used. It could have made the national news. I mean, it was wonderful, right in your face police action footage. But unfortunately for me and the station, the footage was not there because I exposed it to the light. And if this has some historical significance in the future rest of my life, as far as that being a very crucial moment, I don't know. Or maybe that guy went on to become famous, like Cesar Chavez or something like that. I don't know, but that's what happened. That's all I can tell you. And that's a 100% true story. And the point is, in terms of psychicness, why did I turn down that street at that moment, this street, when I had no reason to whatsoever, no inclination to, not headed for anywhere? I do not know. The end.